And welcome to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, your home for student athletics and community coverage. I am Philip Prince. Tonight we have the Waller Bulldogs traveling here to take on the Cypress Lake Spartans. Traveling here to take them on at Cy-Fair Credit Union Stadium. Waller coming in with a record of 3-1 overall, 1-0 in district play for the Spartans of Cypress Lakes coming in with a record of 2-2 overall, 1-0 in district play. So one team will have to put a loss into the column after this one is concluded. But tonight, Bulldogs come in wearing the maroon helmet, W on the right side, numbers on the left, white top, maroon numbers across, with Waller going across the chest, maroon pants with the thick black stripe going down the side. For the home team Spartans, they come in wearing the red helmet with the legs going across the side of the helmet, red top, white numbers, and red pants. As we get set to ready to honor America, we want to take this time to thank our sponsors that will be bringing you tonight's game. I'd like to thank the Temple of Refuge Ministries, located in Prairie View, Texas, building the kingdom one soul at a time, a proud partner with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I'd like to remind the listeners you can also join the Temple of Refuge Ministries Bible studies and sermons every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-4411. Again, that number is 857-777-4411. We'll step away momentarily as they get ready to honor America. We want to keep right where you got. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
One, two, meet me outside. Oh, meet me outside. Yeah, meet me outside. Yeah. Go, meet me outside. Go, meet me outside. Go, meet me outside. Go, meet me outside. 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 Meet me outside.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Cypher Federal Credit Union Stadium, where the matchup we have here is the Waller Bulldogs and the Cypress Lakes Spartans. Spartans, they come in with the record of 2-2 victories over Spring by a score of 36-0, and Cypress Sparks by a score of 57-0. Losses to Cypress Falls by a score of 41-27, and Benjamin Davis by a score of 31-22. For the Waller Bulldogs, victorious over Candy Creek by a score of 49-7. Victorious over Westside by a score of 49-7. Lost to Grand Oaks by a score of 28-20. And then victorious over Cypress Woods by a score of 41-38. Fans are steady making their way into the stadium right now. Temperature set about 89, feels at 91, but temperatures has definitely went down. Not much of a wind factor here today. Flags not even picking much up of it, but we got said about a 4-mile-an-hour wind blowing in southeast. Feel it, a slight breeze. But other than that, we have a good night set here for some high school football. Again, the Bulldogs come playing on a Thursday night here. Not a cut to the Friday night lights, but you still have some Thursday night lights here. King Captains are making their way out to midfield for the coin toss. Scoreboard video will be facing the north end zone, as you just have a regular scoreboard in the south end zone. We got Cypress Fairbanks or CFISD going across the middle at the 50-yard line. This is a neutral spot where the vast majority of your Cypress location schools will need to play here.
Has won the toss, but it was deferred.
This is Waller's first time
All right, Joseph, let's have a good game.
getting herself assorted here in 6A play. As Waller said, they did win the toss and will defer to the second half. Moving from left to right, the Spartans will get it first. So both teams coming off of victories of their last game, trying to continue their winning ways. Braden coming out to kick for the Bulldogs. He'll be kicking from his own 40. Back deep for Spartans will be number 5, Aquarius Crowder. Crowder standing at about his own 8-yard line. Also back there for Crowder will be number 2, Amari Barnes.
Number 2, Amari Barnes. Number 5, Aquarius Crowder.
So Barnes and Crowder standing at their own 8. Breeden kicks it off. High kick. Going to be received by Barnes. Barnes trying to follow his box to the left side. Now comes Buck up the middle to the left. And finally going to be dragged behind. Tackle made by the Bulldogs. Number 0, McGarry dragging Barnes from behind the jersey tug tackle. So Barnes is able to give the Spartans decent field position. This one's going to be spotted around their own 30, so that's where they'll get this one, moving from left to right. Leading the Spartans quarterback will be number 7, Jimmy Alcorn. So Alcorn coming, working in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Makes a handoff to the running back. Going to be in and out of his hands. Tried to connect to his right receiver, Crowder. So that incomplete pass is going to make it 2nd down and 10 now for the Spartans. Theo Fields will be the running back this drive for the Spartans, as he was lined up in the backfield. Now going to move to the line of scrimmage. Now he got a man in motion. That was Crowder, was on the left side of the field. Now comes over to the right. Now it's going to be 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right of Alcorn. Now he's ready. Gets the snap. Looking to pass. He's going to throw the design screen pass. Going to go to the running back. Trying to run to the left side. And Trace Guy is going to tackle him, running down to the out of bounds on the left side, far side over there. But that pass was completed to Fields. Able to go for about 6, 7 yards right there, depending on the spot. We'll say he was able to go for 6 yards. Going to make it a 3rd down and 4 now for the Spartans. Ball's going to be handed off to the running back. Running back trying to run to the left side. He's running backwards. It's going to be forced and take the loss. The first initial hit was applied by number 15, Luke Wisnowski, but coming in to clean it up going to be number 3 for the Bulldogs. That is David Brown the third, and that's going to have to force and bring out the punting unit now for the Spartans. And that's actual run is going to go for a loss of that 6 yards. That Fields was able to get on the design screen. But now it's going to bring out the special teams unit for both teams. Back deep for the Bulldogs will be number 10, Sherry, standing at his own 35-yard line. To punt for the Spartans will be number 16, Syrian Norris. Norris gets the snap, gets the punt off. A nice kick for him. Norris is going to push Sherry back. Sherry's going to take it and let it bounce. He's going to take another Spartan bounce. It's going to be inside the 20, inside the 10, and going to take a roll and finally just stop officially at the 6-yard line. So this will pin the Bulldogs inside their own 10-yard line where they'll get this one, but they were able to force a quick 3 and out on their first offensive drive. So they're going to see if they can come down this first look of things offensively for them and try to see if they can put the first points here up on the board. So 10:34 remaining here in the first quarter. First look for TK Gaines in this offense. Working in a pistol formation, 2 receivers to his right. Man in motion comes from left to right. That's going to be a ball handed off to the running back Carter. Carter trying to run to the left side, but just going to run into a hole. Be lucky he got back to the line of scrimmage, depending where they say. They're going to say he got 1 yard on that. So it's going to make it 2nd down and 9 now for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs moving from right to left. Working in a shotgun formation is Gaines. 3 receivers to his right now. Gets the snaps. Going to hand us off to Carter. Carter trying to run to the left side. Trying to follow his blockers. Going to be outside the numbers, but just finally wrapped up. Stayed in bounds. But then again, going to be luckily if Carter got a yard right there. To say he did get another yard. So it's going to make it a 3rd down and 8 now for the Bulldogs. Quick substitutions coming in now for both teams. Now the Bulldogs ready to work. Working in the pistol formation now is Gaines. Now he's going to line up in the shotgun formation, move Carter from behind him to his right. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Now gets the snap, drops back, looking pass, going to step up in the pocket. Now going to roll to the right. It's going to take it. It's going to throw this. It's going to be caught by the receiver, and then it's going to be stopped. Stop for the 4. Gain of progress right there around the 21 say the 19-yard line. So, but we do have some penalty markers coming in. But if it stands, it's a 10-yard reception to his receiver to Shinge.
Defense number 11. That penalty is declined, resulting in play first down.
So Gaines' first pass is good to go to Shinge for 10 yards. That penalty is declined. So it'll be a 1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs. The ball spotted at their own 9-yard line. They got this one. It was started at their own 6. But they were to pick up their first down here to keep the drive alive. 1st and 10 now for Gaines. Gaines on the hand is off to Carter. Carter is going to try to run this to the right side, but again, it's going to be met up at that defensive line by the Spartans for another gain of 1 yard right there. So it's going to make it a 2nd down and 9 now for the Bulldogs. 8:27 remaining here in the first quarter. This is the Bulldogs' first look at things in this contest. Working in the empty formation now. In the shotgun formation is Gaines. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Gets the snap. Looking to pass, going to connect with this receiver Carter on a quick slant right there. Whistle's fine, just going to blow the play dead, but Carter would not go down right there. But that's going to be a quick, short reception for about, let's say, 3 yards right there. So it's going to make it a 3rd down and a 5 now for the Bulldogs. You say 5, long 5, short 6. Ball is spotted at the Bulldogs' 23-yard line. Shotgun formation for Gaines. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Gets the snap, looks to pass, going to throw this to the left side. Is going to be, might be interception. What's going for it? The side of judge is saying is an incomplete pass, but it will bring up a 4th down. So the Bulldogs catch a break right there. As well covered right there by the cornerback, Amari Barnes right there, but couldn't maintain possession coming down to the ground, bobbled it. So it's going to make it a 4th down and 8. We'll say 4th down and 5 now for the Bulldogs, and Mendoza is going to bring out his punting unit now. So have a late man coming in on the field. So it looks like the Bulldogs going to have to take a timeout here. So we'll take a quick timeout, and when we come back, the Bulldogs will have to punt this one away with 7:29 remaining here in the first quarter. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Cypher Credit Union Stadium, where Bulldogs are looking at a 4th and 6, having to punt this one away. Brandon gets the snap, gets a high punt, received by the return man. Going to have to force this one back to the left side, gets a stiff arm on the receiver, still on his feet, shakes him back, gets another stiff arm. That's going to force backwards. It's going to run out of bounds. We have a late penalty marker coming in on the Bulldog side of the field. Nice return by Courtney Lewis. Got it received about his own 35. Got forced backwards. Didn't look like he was going to be tackled for a loss. Able to stiff arm a defender to stay on his feet and run all the way back to the left side of the field. But we're going to see if there's going to be some holding on that punt return. Looks like the Spartans are already knowing that it's indicated on them. They're already officially moving backwards. Would have got it good field position, almost about around midfield. As you heard from the head official from the day, holding call. So that is Cypress Lake's second penalty in the game. So now they're going to get this one instead of their 50 from their own 50, from 50-yard line, from their own 40. 7:12 remaining here. They're getting their second look at things here. Was in the shot confirmation. Fakes the handoff. Going to be a design wide receiver screen. Trying to throw this one. And is successful to number 1, Courtney Lewis. And Courtney Lewis is able to drag a Waller defender with them for the reception that's going to go for 15 yards. So Bulldogs have this one now. Excuse me, the Spartans have this one inside the Bulldogs territory. Officially at the Bulldogs 45. Working in the shotgun formation is the quarterback. It's going to be a quarterback keeper now, and that is Jimmy. Jimmy's going to run this one, trying to dance and run to the left side and cut back up midfield, but it's going to just run that one for about a yard or so. So to make it a second down and 8. We'll say second down and 9 now for the Spartans. Jimmy getting some play calls, substitutions up at the plate. It's going to be a pass is going to be thrown to the wide receiver to the left side on the field again to Courtney Lewis once again. And Courtney Lewis is good for that reception for about, you could say, 4 yards. So make it a third down and safe. 5 now for the Spartans. Ball is at the Bulldogs 39-yard line. 5:45 remaining here in the first quarter. Pistol formation. Carwin on the quarterback keeper, on the that is all corn on the quarterback keeper run on the read option. Able to run this inside the Bulldogs 20, officially at the Bulldogs 9. So that's a big gain right there. Now they're going to stop play momentarily to get a play call from the sideline. Now Alcorn's ready to go. It's going to move Fields from his left to his right. Now working in the shotgun formation. Looking to pass. Going to hit his receiver in for the slant for the touchdown. Connecting with Lewis. 9 yards out. So Alcorn is able to connect to Lewis. 9 yards out on the slant to get our first score here in this contest. Looks like Spartans were lined up in almost like a little wildcat formation. Like they were going to go for 2, but now they're going to line up in regular field goal formation. For an after attempt to be kicked by number 16, Syrian Norris. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up and is good. So it's 5:05 remaining in the first quarter. The Spartans are able to get the first touchdown, leading by a score of 7-0 over the Waller Bulldogs. We'll take a quick break, but keep right where you got it. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium, where the Bulldogs are going to get their second look at things here, trailing by a score 7-0 to the Cypress Lake Spartans. This is going to be an onside kick attempt, and it's going to be was touched by a Bulldog, but just going to go out of bounds. Spartans were lined up like they were going to kick it off normally deep, and then some little trickery as the kicker ran from where he was about to kick the ball to the left side to almost be like an extra defender to try to recover this onside kick. But the man who kicked it for the Spartans was Khalil Costello and probably put a little bit too much on it.
Play procedure, kick out of bounds. 5 yards from the end of the kick. First down.
So there'll be another penalty marker that will go against the Spartans. So the Bulldogs will have this one now, starting at their own 45-yard line. 5:01 remaining here in the first quarter. Working in the pistol formation now is Gaines. Gaines going to keep this one. Is actually going to go backwards for a loss. Probably should have gave that one off to his running back Carter. But Sparks were all over that one. And Gaines is actually going to go for a loss of 5 right there. So to make it a second down and 15 now for the Bulldogs. Going to push them back all the way to their 40. Again, the Bulldogs moving from right to left here in this first quarter. Bulldogs were huddled up right there. Going to take a little bit time to see if they can regroup here on the second and 15 play. Working in the shotgun formation. Sherry's going to come in motion from left to right. Now gets a snap. It's Gaines stepping back to pass. The ball's going to be batted down at the line. A scrimmage, and it's going to be incomplete. Going to see if there's going to be a penalty marker for a late hit, but as the ball ended up being short to the intended receiver, Carter, and the ball bounced up and hit the turf. Carter, of course, is trying to go play it and catch it off, and then laying a late hit right there on him was number 21, Mr. Khalil Costello, but just playing through the whistle as he's taught. But again, no call, so it's going to make it a third down and 15 now for the Bulldogs. Sherry again comes in motion from right to left. It's going to bring TK Gaines. They're trying to run a misdirectional screen on the over there on the near side. But again, the Spartans were just all over that when TK Gaines just has to take this one. Actually got forced almost back 20 yards. They might throw him for intentional grounding. Yes, sir. Needed to get the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. He needed to get it back to the 40. He got pushed back all the way to about his own 25, 20-yard line when he threw that ball, trying to get it away. Good pressure right there by the Spartans and good coverage all over that one on the initial screen. So it's going to push this one and make it a 4th and 25 now for the Bulldogs. And Mendoza's going to have to force out the punting unit once again. Back deep for the Spartans will be number 1, Courtney Lewis. This time he's standing at his own 40-yard line. Got a good return last time, but was negated with a hold. This is going to take a bounce at about the 45, rolling past the 40. It's going to still roll about the 35. So that's where the Spartans will get this one. They're able to force another 3 and out on that Bulldogs offense. So now they're going to have their third look at things here with the lead with 3:52 remaining here in the first quarter.
Holding during the return, number 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down, Violet.
So the head coach, Carter, for the Spartans, pretty sure is not too pleased with that penalty mark. That's already their 4th penalty here in the first quarter. So that's going to push them back 10 yards. So it's going to make this a 1st and 10 now for the Spartans. Ball is spotted at their own 25-yard line. Empty formation, empty backfield for Alcorn, the quarterback. He has Lewis, the lone receiver, over there to his left, and four receivers over here to the right. There'll be a screen to the right, almost picked off by the Waller Bulldog return. Excuse me, corner right there was about a half second late, but it's still a good reception for the Spartans. It's good to go to Fields, the running back, and that one's going to go for 18-yard reception right there. So it's going to move the change now for the Spartans. Ball is spotted at their own, say, 38-yard line now. Carter looking to pass. We're going to try to throw the design screenplay over here to the right. Had to pump fake and just take that one, tried to run it up, but the pocket collapsed and had to take the sack. Actually might have lost 2 yards right there, but we have another penalty marker coming in behind the play.
Wow. Face mask on the defense. 15 yards. Automatic first down.
It's not how the Bulldogs intended that penalty marker being drawn up. So it'll be a 1st and 10 now for the Spartans. The ball's going to be just a little bit past midfield, officially at the Bulldogs' 49-yard line. The Bulldogs have 2 penalty markers for 30 yards to the Cypress, 4 penalties for 25 yards so far just in this first quarter. 3:27 remaining here for the Spartans. Spartans with the 7-0 lead over the Bulldogs, working in the shotgun formation. This one's going to be a fake the handoff. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Ball out corner trying to run this to the left side, but good coverage over there and good pursuit by the Bulldogs linebacker, Trace Gaglia, wrapping them up for a gain of 1 right there. So it's going to make it a 2nd down and 9 now for the Bulldogs. Some substitutions coming in now for both teams. Now ready to go on corner, working in the shotgun formation. Got 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. The running back Fields was on the lined up on the right side, went to the left and came back to the right. Now ready to go back. This ball is going to be completed to the right receiver, number 5, Crowder, on the little in and out route. And that in and out route is good to go for, say, a little gain of about 4 yards right there. Depends on how you want to say 3 yards. Another tackle made by Trace Geigen right there. It's going to make it a 3rd down and 6 now for the Spartans. Ball is at the Bulldogs' 45-yard line. The wind kind of picked up a little bit more here. Flags are moving in that north end zone. Looking at a 3rd down and 6 now for the Spartans. Working in shotgun formation, had 2 in the back. Pocket collapse on it now, trolling to the left side. It's going to take a throw up downfield. It's going to be incomplete. Had to throw it and just float it more out of bounds right there. But we do have yet another penalty marker coming in. Another penalty marker. It's going to be a high penalized first half so far.
Holy, let me point out, man, that penalty decline. Shows the play, 4th down.
So that penalty is declined as there was an incomplete pass. So it's going to make it a 4th down and 6. But Carter, the head coach for the Spartans, still has that offense out on the field as we have some pointing right now. The Bulldogs are pointing that there should have been a false start call, and they are going to get that false start call. So back-to-back penalties against the Spartans. So it's going to push this one and make it a 4th down and 11 now. And the offense is going to stay out on the field right now. Just seeing if they're going to actually go for this one or just pooch kick it away. Shotgun formation for Alcorn. Alcorn has 1 receiver to his left, 3 to his right. Was ready for the snap, but going to look over to the sideline to get the new play call. Now gets the signal to his wide receivers on what route to run. Now we're ready to play. Shotgun formation. Look at the pass. Going to throw this one. Is going to be swatted down by the linebacker sitting in the coverage right there. Knocking that one away for the Bulldogs was number 20, Jeremy Dees honestly could have walked away with the interception right there, but wisely just knocking it down to take the better field position. Going to get this one at midfield. So the Bulldogs have this one with a little bit of momentum back on their side. See if they can have this one with good fielding start position, this one, and tie this contest up. 1:45 remaining here in the first quarter. Spartans leading by a score of 7-0. Working in the pistol formation was Gaines. Gaines going to hand this to Carter, and Carter's trying to run this one to the right side. The Bulldogs are trying to establish that running identity, but having little to no success so far. Another 1 yard gain right there for Carter. It's going to make it a second down and 9 now for the Bulldogs. Got some substitutions coming in now for the Bulldogs. It's going to be a tight formation now for the Bulldogs in the shotgun formation. Got two receivers, two Gaines his right, one to his left. Now gets the snap, looking to pass, going to take a shot downfield. Is going to try to connect with his receiver to Shin. Is going to be incomplete. Well covered downfield by the Spartans. Was trying to hit his man, Michael Tassinge, was Gaines on the post route right there. But Nate Davis, as Tyron Newton, that was on the coverage right there, on the tight coverage right there on the Shin. So it'll make this a third down and 9 now for the Bulldogs. Shotgun formation for Gaines. Gets it now, looking to pass. Going to step up, trying to avoid the pocket. Going to set his feet. Now it's going to have his receiver. It's going to be incomplete thought. Newton got in there kind of early, but again, back-to-back defensive plays. Well coverage by Newton, and it's going to make this one a fourth down and 9 now for the Bulldogs. Mendoza not electing to be so aggressive on this fourth down and 9. Bulldogs are only able to pick up 1 yard that drive. Bring out Brennan, who's had seemingly a busy first half and first quarter so far. This is already his third punt. Standing at it about his own 34-yard line. We have a late penalty marker coming in. Might be a delay of game. So that delay of game will go against the Bulldogs and push them back an additional 5 yards that they weren't wanting to give up right there. So 4th and 14 now for the Bulldogs. Courtney Lewis back deep for the Spartans to return this one, standing at about his own 20-yard line. High snap from Breeden and almost blocked, but not a call. This was going to be a return by Lewis. Lewis past the 30, past the 35, got some good blocks. Got another penalty mark at midfield. If Brennan would have did a better acting job right there, probably could have got the roughing the passer, but he stood straight up and just took took the hit. Not enough for the head official to make that call for the roughing the kicker or even running into the kicker. But it was a decent return again by Courtney Lewis. Lewis was able to get this one about his own 20 and get a good 10, 15-yard return. Officially, they have this one at about the 36-yard line. But we'll wait the penalty marker. So Cy Lakes has already picked up 7 penalty markers here in the first quarter. Got 36 seconds remaining here in first quarter. Cypress Lake Spartans leading the Waller Bulldogs by a score of 7-0 here in Cypress, Texas, at Cy-Fair Bank Federal Credit Union Stadium. So now Alcorn ready to work here in this first down play in the shotgun formation. Two receivers to his left, two to his right. He's going to hand them off to Fields, the running back. Fields runs to the right side, makes one cut up the middle of the numbers, past the 45, and finally ran out of bounds. Pass, we'll say at the 50. If it stands, that's a good 20-yard run for Fields. So they have this one at midfield. Chains finally get set, and they're ready to work now. Alcorn changing the play and the formation now. The formation is going to be now one receiver to his left, two to his right. He's going to hand this one off to the running back Fields again. Fields trying to run to the right side. Tried to stay on his feet, but it's going to be thrown out of bounds. Nice tackle right there by Luke Winowski and number 52, Trace Geigley, and forced Fields out of bounds. So actually, they're going to say Fields got no gainage on that one. So it's going to make it a second down and 19. Excuse me, second down and 10 now for the Spartans. Clock stopped. Was rolling, but now it just stopped at 19 seconds. Now, Ray worked this second down play. It's going to be an end around, a little misdirection, a little take a shot downfield. It's going to be almost intercepted. We have some more penalty markers coming on. The Spartans were trying to run the end around flea flicker right there, trying to catch the Bulldogs off guard. Almost picked off by the Bulldogs safety, number 23, Weston Hubertus. Couldn't make the catch coming down to the ground. But we're going to see what this penalty marker is. This penalty marker is about at the Spartans 46, and you got one at the 41.
Offense number 3, 15 yards. Replay, second down.
So 15-yard penalty that's going to go against Spartans. Already 8 penalties for 55 yards just in the first quarter unofficially for the Spartans. So 9 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. Will this be the last play? Man in motion comes from left to right. It's going to be a keeper by Alcorn trying to stay on his feet. I don't think Alcorn thought he might have got his way out of that one. But they're going to blow that one dead and say that his knee hit the turf. Would have been a good game because Alcorn was able to stay on his feet, cut that one back up the middle. There was nobody in the vicinity area of Alcorn. So the Bulldogs catch a little bit of a break right there as that one actually runs only going to be able to go for 1 yard. So that will conclude and take us to the end of one where the Spartans of Cypress Lakes are leading the Bulldogs by a score of 7-0. Keep it right where you got it. We'll be right back right after this. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Cy-Fair Stadium. where the Cypress Lake Spartans are leading the Waller Bulldogs by a score of 7-0. This will be the start of the second quarter. The Spartans are looking at a third down and 24. Ball is spotted at their own 36-yard line. Working in the shotgun formation is on corn. Pump fakes to the right. Now it's going to roll back to the right. Going to set this feet, throw this one to the completed receiver, number 3, Josh Williams. And Josh Williams is just going to be wrapped up. It's going to say he maybe got a gain. Let's say actually got back to the original line of scrimmage because after Alcorn ran backwards so far just to try to avoid and get out of the sack. Pocket had collapsed on him. Williams is just going to actually say he lost a yard on that one. So it's going to make it a 4th down and 25 now. Spartan special teams coming out, almost blocked by Bulldogs special team right there. That was just shot. That would have been a big time for the Bulldogs if they could have got that. Would have flipped the field, especially in their favor. So probably would have got that one probably inside the Spartans' 20-yard line, but they're going to get this one inside their own 20. So good flip of field by the Spartans. So TK Gaines and his offense is ready to bring the offense back out on the field, trailing by a score of 7-0. This ball's going to be handed off to Carter. Carter trying to run to the left side. This ball's going to be fumbled. They're going to say this is a Carter had the ball loose, but the Bulldogs are trying to see why hasn't the play been dead. But right now the Spartans are celebrating as if it is a true fumble. Number 4, Stephen Stephen Alakawa comes away with ripping the ball out of Carter. Trying to watch the replay here. That's right in the north end zone. Right now, the head officials, all the officials are huddled up right now, right around the 15-yard line to discuss what happened. Nope, whistles were blown dead. So we'll see what they decide to do here. If it stands, the Spartans will have this one inside the Bulldogs 20.
First down, replay.
Wow. So the Bulldogs catch a break, and you can tell that Tyrone Carter is not pleased by that. They're going to say there was an inadvertent whistle right there, so they're just going to replay the play right there. And the head coach, Tyrone Carter, is going to want a better explanation for this one. So the Bulldogs are going to have this one. It's just going to say it act like nothing happened that last play. The Bulldogs are ready to line up and start this one. We just can't start just yet. They're still trying to talk to Coach Carter about the reasoning behind that last call. But nevertheless, we're ready to get back into action here. The Bulldogs, like I said, catch a break. We're going to have this one now starting at their own 19-yard line. Moving from left to right. Gaines has a man open downfield. Going to have this one complete to Sherry. Sherry's at the 40, the 30. There's going to be no one near him. It's going to be in for the touchdown. 81-yard touchdown from Tristan Gaines to Caden Sherry. The Bulldogs were able to catch The Spartans napping right there with the misdirection. Thought it was going to be a run play going to Carter on the inside. And then they had a man coming around on the end around. They faked the handoff to him. But TK Gaines still had the ball and heaved a strike that was made perfectly in stride for his receiver, Sherry, to do the rest himself, as this was going to be a field goal attempt that's blocked by the Spartans. And oh my goodness, there's no way that just happened. This was going to be returned to 20, the 10, to 5, and in for the 2 points. Somehow, some way, the the block field goal. Oh, there is a penalty marker down on the field, so the Bulldogs might have just caught another break, but it was recovered by the Spartans after the initial block. So it's just a warning to them. But as I can go back to break that down, the ball was recovered by the Spartans, and he somersaulted forwardly and almost kind of lost the ball and just somehow just seamlessly just fell right into the return and hands right in stride to Mr. Johnson. And Mr. Johnson was able to return the block point after attempt for the successful 2 points to make this score now 9-6. Thought the Bulldogs would have caught a break right there. The late penalty marker that was thrown around the 30-yard line, but it was just for sideline warning. So 10:38 remaining here in the second quarter. The Bulldogs are not able to cash out on that 81-yard Caden Sherry reception from his quarterback Gaines to tie the score to make it 7-7. Our score now is 9-6. But the Bulldogs will get the ball to receive the second half of play. So as this was going to be kicked deep to the return man, Barnes trying to follow his blockers, run to the right side, return this one about his 10. He's going to get this one a good return into passes 30. I'm going to say officially at his 33-yard line. So Spartans have this one with a 3-point lead now. Spartans have this one moving from right to left. One remind our listeners that you can become a listening partner by visiting the obnradio.com to help the community coverage for our community and your community. Support the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and you can click the donation button only at obnradio.com. As we get ready to resume back into action here, Alcorn working in the pistol formation, got 3 receivers to his right, one to his left, fake the initial handoff to Fields, and this one's going to be blown up. Got all in the backfield was number 1 for the Bulldogs as Ty Tyron blowing that play up and forcing the incomplete pass. So it's going to make it a 2nd down and 10 now for the Spartans. Ball still spotted. I said they're 33. Officially now they have it at their 32. Gets the new play call from his respected sideline over here from the left side. Now gets the snap. Pump fakes to the right side. It's going to be trying to connect with his receiver, Courtney Lewis. He does so successfully. Lewis trying to stiff arm and stay in bounds, but actually going to lose yardage on that little swing route. I'm going to say he lost about 3 yards on that one. So it's going to make it a 3rd down and 13 now for the Spartans. Balls pushes them back now to their own 29-yard line. Fields moves from the left to right in the shotgun formation now. Alcorn gets the snap, looking to pass, going to throw this one. Incomplete, was a bit too high for his intended receiver, Courtney Lewis, but good coverage right there by number 3, David Brown the third. So it's going to force another 3-and-out and a well-timed 3-and-out forced by the Bulldogs. And it seems like the Spartans might have gained some momentum right there off of that block point after attempt, but not able to cash in with any points on this drive. So it's going to have Mr. Sherry, the one who just returned the 81-yard touchdown, back deep, standing at his own 30-yard line. Norris get this one. High kick, high punt. No fair catch for Sherry. So he's trying to make a return, makes a nice wiggle cut move. Ball is loose. The ball is loose, and the ball's going to be covered by the Spartans. Thought Sherry was down on the ground before the ball came loose. We're trying to look at the replay here again. That's in the north end zone. Sherry was trying to make a couple of defenders miss. Didn't have many blockers in front of him, got wrapped up, and then once he got spun around, ball came loose and recovered by the Spartans. So the Spartans have this one past the 50 inside the Bulldogs territory, officially at the Bulldogs 39-yard line. 9:59 remaining here in the second quarter. Now working in the shotgun formation is Alcorn ready to work now. Rolling to his right, rolling now pass. He's going to try to throw this. It's going to be intercepted by Trace Geigley. Tried to throw the screenplay on the misdirection, and the ball floated up just enough time for Trace Geigley to come away with the reception and intercepted cleanly, avoiding the ground. So the turnover desperately that the Bulldogs needed. Bulldogs and Spartans flip turnovers right there. Bulldogs able to pick up their first turnover in the game right now. Nip could have came at a better time. So now it's going to bring Tristan Gaines, better known as TK Gaines, back out for his Bulldogs offense, trailing by a score of 9-6. Working in the pistol formation, was initially now lined up in the shotgun formation. There's going to be a handoff to Carter on the counter. Carter's at the 50. Carter's at the 45, trying to get one block. Cuts off at the 30, trying to make one defender miss. Carter's at the 20, and finally going to be dragged out of bounds. It's at the 21. So good return. See any penalty markers. We do have a penalty marker right here now past the 45.
Offense number 12, 10 yards from the spot, foul. Still first down.
So luckily, Carter was at least past the first down marker when they flagged the Bulldogs for that first down run. Would have been a gain around a 20-yard run right there for Carter. But now they have this one. They say it's going to be a first down. I want to say 9, officially at the Bulldogs' 47-yard line. Pistol formation, ball pitched out to Carter. Carter trying to run to the left side. Carter trying to make a defender miss, defarms him, and finally tackled outside past the numbers on the left side over there for a good gain. Say he picked up 3-4 yards. So it's going to make it a second down, stay 5 now for the Bulldogs. 9:06 remaining here in the second quarter. Bulldogs now breaking the huddle. Balls past midfield into the Spartans territory, officially at the Spartans 48-yard line. Gaines working in the shotgun formation. Gaines fakes the handoff to Carter, now rolling to his left. Going to throw this one behind his intended receiver, trying to hit his big tight end or tight end, however you want to call him, number 34. Alan Vasquez, the tight end right there, the senior tight end. Ball was thrown behind him. Gaines were able to lead Vasquez right there. Would have been a well enough for the first down and possibly 10, 15 plus more. But now it's going to make it a third down and four now. Some substitutions coming in now for the Bulldogs on this third down and fourth play. Working in the empty shotgun formation is Gaines. Two receivers to his left, two to his right. Gets the snap, low snap, looking to pass. Going to throw this one to his intended receiver, Allen Haynes. And this gets his first look at things here. That's going to be incomplete. Gaines got that one out fast. Do that one to the outside receiver. Probably would have been better throwing that one to Mobile, his inside receiver. But took what the defense gave him right there. Is going to make it a fourth down and forward now. Clock stopped at 8:42, and the Bulldogs are going to keep the offense out on the field. See if the Bulldogs are trying to get a hard count just to see if they can draw the Spartans offside. They can pick up a free first down. They tried it right there on that first hard count, but to no avail. Spartans were playing discipline. So now change the formation now. Now Spartans, Gaines looking to pass, going to step up in the pocket. Gaines is going to take this one, and we're going to throw this one downfield. It's going to be caught by the receiver. Caught by Michael Tashinj. Gaines probably could have ran that one himself, but Gaines wanted to show off that deep arm strength of his and put it downfield and onto a spot where his receiver Tashinj can get it. So now it's going to put the Bulldogs inside the 20, inside the 10, inside the Spartans 4-yard line. Now the Bulldogs bringing out the goal line package here. They're bringing out the Wildcat formation. There's going to be a direct snap hand to Carter. Carter trying to brush off the first initial hit. Able to do so successfully, but wrapped up immediately by a host of Spartan defenders right there to actually tackle him for a loss of a yard right there. So at least that first initial hit was able to blow back Carter for 1 yard. Carter couldn't keep his balance. Now it's going to make it a second down and goal. Ball at the 5-yard line. Again, the Bulldogs come lying down here in the Wildcat formation. Direct snap going to Carter. Carter trying to run this. Carter's going to dance his way into the end zone. For a second, it looked like Carter might have got stuck over there to the left side when he ran into the hole, but somehow, some way, was able to just let the play develop and found a small hole to slip through and dance his way into the end zone to have the Bulldogs now up 12-9, pointing the point after attempt. Ready? Trying to see if they can get this one. Last point after attempt got blocked. High snap, but maintained by Caden Key as this kick is up and it is good. So 7:32 remaining here in the second quarter. The Bulldogs are able to get their first lead in today's contest by a score of 13-9. We'll take a quick break, but when we come back, the Bulldogs will have this one, trying to see if they can get another big stop out of their defense here with the lead. You're listening to the Mike Broadcast Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium, where Brennan's punt is going to go out of bounds. Thought it went through the end zone, but Bulldogs will pick up their fifth penalty here. Already a high penalized first half between both of these two schools. A 14 penalized first half. Correction, excuse me. Yes, it's 14. Sorry, 9 going to the Spartans, and then that fifth one just now going to the Bulldogs. 7:32. Actually, they're going to want the Bulldogs to re-kick that one. So instead of getting that one, probably around their own 35, 30, just going to have Mr. Brennan just re-kick this one. He'll be kicking again from his 35. Back deep for the Spartans, number 2, Barnes. Barnes standing on the left hash, and then you have number 5, Crowder, on the right hash, and this is going to be received by Barnes. Barnes about the 7-yard line. Barnes trying to follow his blockers to the right side of the field, still on his feet, and finally going to be tackled and ran out of bounds. So seemingly where they would have got the ball if they would have just elected to take the penalty from the original out of bounds kick. Spartans will have this one spotted. Starting at their own 30-yard line, moving from right to left. The Bulldogs again coming wearing the maroon helmet. W on the right side, numbers on the left, white jerseys, maroon numbers, maroon pants, black thick stripe down the side. They are the away team for Spartans, all red look, red helmets with lakes going across the helmet, red jerseys, white numbers, red pants. Now Encore ready to work for this drive. Now in the shotgun formation. Now it's going to change the play. Now ready to work. Gets the snap. Looking to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Trying to avoid the pressure. Now rolling back all the way back to his 10-yard line. Now goes back to the 15. Going to try and find. There's nobody open downfield. Stumbles past the 25 and luckily going to just fall forward back to the original line of scrimmage. But we do have another penalty marker down on the field. Well covered by the Bulldogs across right there. And good job by the Bulldogs defensive end right there, number 25.
Number 75. 10 yards, 3 feet, first down.
Joey Bazan applying constant pressure on our con to force him out of that pocket. So now it's going to force and push the Spartans back 10 yards now. 1st and 20 now. Ball is spotted at their own 20-yard line. Shotgun formation for Con. Con's going to hand this off to the running back. He's trying to run to the right side. He's still on his feet, following his blockers. And that is number 33, Braylon Duggar. Duggar able to get almost back to the pick up those penalty markers that was lost. So a 9-yard gain is going to make it a second down. You say 11 for the Spartans. Now working in the shotgun formation. It's going to be fake the handoff. It's going to be incomplete. Trying to run the screen pass. Was trying to hit up his receiver. Of course, Crowder. But our car throw was a bit too low. And Crowder was fighting the low throw in the ground to try to catch that one. So it's going to force an incomplete pass and make it a 3rd down and 11 now for the Spartans. Some substitutions coming in for the Spartans. Substitution coming in now for the Bulldogs. Now ready to play. Shotgun formation for Encore. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Gets the snap, looking to pass, looking to the right side. And he's going to be wrapped up and tackled. So I actually say that's a sack on the play. Making that sack was number 1, Tyron Tryon right there. And that's going to force the Spartans to bring out their punt unit. So the Bulldogs are able to get a stop out of their defense right now. 6:10 remaining here in the second quarter. Bulldogs have the Bulldogs have 2 timeouts remaining and the 2-minute timeout. Spartans still have all 3 of their timeouts. Back deep for the Bulldogs will be number 10, Cade Sherry is trying to see if he can redeem himself after that last fumble. It's going to be a low line drive. This one's going to be off the feet of Sherry. Sherry's just going to be lucky and fall on that one. Sherry honestly did the best thing that he could was knocking that ball down because the way that one took a bounce off of the turf, it would have probably pinned the Bulldogs probably a little bit inside their own 10, possibly pinned them at the 1 yard line. But that ball hits off of Sherry's shin, and luckily, by the grace of God, he was able to fall on it because there was a Spartans defender coming right there diving at the ball, but he was able to fall on it just in the nick of time. So now the Bulldogs going to have this one starting at their own 26-yard line, moving from left to right with the lead 13-9 here in the second quarter. Working in the shotgun formation is Gaines fakes the initial handoff to Carter. This one's going to be blown up right after this. The ball was snapped. Blowing that play up was number 30, Isidro Jimenez, sacking Gaines right there for almost for a loss of 6 right there. Say the blown coverage will go to Carter right there. So now it's going to make it a 2nd down and 17 now for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs say will get the ball to receive the second half kickoff. So they're trying to see if they could just add on to this lead that they already have established here. Shotgun formation for Gaines. Moves a man in motion from left to right. Now gets a snap. Looking to pass. Going to step up in the pocket to avoid the pressure. Going to take this and run to the left side. Has a one block. It's past the 40, at the 45, at the 50. It's going to say he stepped out of bounds. Good job right there by Gaines of stepping up in the pocket. Didn't have any receivers to throw to. Just taking what the defense gave him. And in that smart decision right there, was able to pick up 20-plus yards right there on that carry. Going to say he actually picked up about 21, 22 yards. So it's going to make it a 1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs. Ball is spotted at their 46-yard line. Shotgun formation for Gaines. Gaines now step up in the pocket. Avoids 1 second. He's going to actually be hit. Gaines got blindsidedly sacked right there. Avoided the initial pressure by the Spartans, the first 2 guys that came back to him, but one of the guys that got split by Gaines the first time was able to clean it up. Gaines ran back into him, didn't see him as he was trying to roll backwards to let the play develop. So that's going to be a sack for 4 right there, making a 2nd down and 14 now. 4:14 remaining here in the second quarter. Gaines working in a shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the left. It's going to be a design screen. It's going to be connected to Shinge. Excuse me, that's Mobile over there on the far left side over there on the field. That wide receiver screen's able to get the sack yards gain back. I'm going to say he possibly picked up about 6, 7 yards right there on that screen play. So to say he picked up 6 is going to make it a 3rd down and 8 now for the Bulldogs. Gaines now is going to be working. Going to keep this one trying to run to the right side. Makes one man defeat miss. He's going to take the hit, but he will have enough for the 1st down. Gaines did a nice job of putting the juke move on the defender. That juke move was able enough to stall that corner and froze him to pick up the 2 yards that he needed to keep the drive alive for the 1st down on that 8-yard scamper by him. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for them. Balls past midfield into the Spartans territory, officially at the Spartans 46-yard line. We have a little slowdown in the play right now by the Bulldogs. The play clock is stopped at 17. Game clock stopped at 3:25. As the officials trying to come and discuss what could possibly going on now. Didn't see any penalty markers on the play. Far head official was walking away from the Bulldogs sideline. Don't know if they're trying to have a problem with the spot of the ball, but it looks like everybody is on one accord, so we'll just fit in line where we can get in. The clock is going to run 3:20. Play clock is rolling now. 15 seconds. Now Gaines ready to work. Shotgun formation. Going to fake this one. Hand this out to Carter. Carter trying to run this. Carter's on the 30. Carter's at the 35. Carter's at 25 to 20. Carter's trying to cut back inside. Still on his feet. Carter's at the 10. Carter's at the 5. Carter's trying to wrestle his way into the end zone, but it's going to be finally tackled. Tried to bring Spartans defender with him, but he's going to be tackled at the 4-yard line. So that misdirection counter is good to go for 40 yards right there. So a day where it seems like it's been really frustrating for Carter, back to back. Started off the game with 4 consecutive 1-yard runs. Couldn't seem like he couldn't find a hole anywhere. Was able to break off right there for his biggest run of the night so far. 2:35 remaining here in the second quarter. The Bulldogs, like I said, just taking as much time as they can right off that clock right now. So the Bulldogs actually going to take their first time out. Said they were left with 2. So we had it right. So Bulldogs do burn their second timeout to stop the clock at 2 minutes and 32 seconds. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Right there, you're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium, where the Bulldogs have this one. First and goal inside the Spartans red zone, officially at the Spartans 4-yard line. Gaines working in shotgun formation. Gaines going to keep this one on the design quarterback keeper. Gaines trying to stay on his feet, and Gaines finally going to be stopped at the original line of scrimmage. Was able to break that first tackle, but was shoestring tackle. Couldn't get out of the defender's arms after the first initial hit. Going to say, actually, he lost a yard right there, so it's going to make it a second down and goal now. Ball is spotted at the Spartan 5-yard line. We have a stoppage in the play right now. This will be the 2-minute timeout, so we'll step away just momentarily for the 2-minute timeout. Keep it right where you got it. You're listening to the Mike Broadcast Network. And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Cypress, Texas, at Cy-Fair's Federal Credit Union Stadium, where the Bulldogs have this one and the lead, my score of 13-9 over the Cypress Lake Spartan. The ball is spotted at the left hash on the left side over there for the Bulldogs. So it'll be kind of a funky field goal attempt right here. So they're going to try their best right here to get this punched in. So this is going to be a quarterback keep going to be kept by Gaines. Gaines trying to cut back inside. It's going to be in for the touchdown, but we have a penalty marker coming in behind the play. So we await the call right now.
Offense number 55, 10 yards. Still second down.
So a holding call that's going to go against the Bulldogs. That's going to stop the clock at 1:53. And instead of a 4-yard touchdown run by Gaines, it's going to push them back to their own 14-yard line now. Seemingly, it was almost 4-down territory right there. Anyway, you want to look at it right there. The ball was at the 4-yard line, second down and goal. But now, might have to just play a little bit more conservative here if you're Mendoza and the Bulldogs. Ball's pushed back to the 14-yard line. Clock stopped at 1:53. The Bulldogs have a lead and do get the ball to open up the second half of play. But, like I said, Bulldogs have 7 on the mind here if they can get it. This ball's going to be handed off to Carter. Carter's going to be in for the touchdown. Had a man come in motion right there on the end around and handed off to Carter on the counter. And Carter's able to go in untouched 14 yards out. Have our contest now 19-9. Bulldogs not electing to go for 2. They're going to just bring out the point at the attempt team. Already leading by 10. Just going to go ahead and make it 11 here. Snap is good. The hold is good. And the kick is up. And it is good. So 1:47 remaining here in the second quarter. The Bulldogs leading by a score of 20-9 over the Cypress Lake Spartans. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back right after this. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Cy-Fair Stadium, where the Bulldogs were able to capitalize 14 yards out to extend their lead here on a 14-yard touchdown run by Robert Carter. Our score is now 20-9. It's going to be returned by Banks. Banks trying to return this one. Was at the numbers and made a cut back up midfield to get this one to about his own 30, 31-yard line. But we, yet again, another penalty marker coming in to already this high penalized first half already, where a half we have seen 16 penalty markers with 17 coming right here.
There's a return. Hold it, 49. 10 yards. Foul. First down, Side Lakes.
So Side Lakes picks up their 11th penalty marker in the first half. Clock is at 1:40. It's going to push Side Lakes actually now, say, at their own 10-yard line. So the Spartans got to drive the length of the field just to cut down on this 11-point lead that the Bulldogs have. Spartans do have 3 timeouts in their pocket, so they can take as much time as they need here. So it's going to be a quick. It's going to be intercepted by the Bulldogs. Intercepted by number 3. David Brown, and David Brown is in for the touchdown. The 10-yard interception return for the touchdown. What a heads-up play right there by the cornerback, David Brown, to sniff that screen play all the way out and made a jump on the ball and went into the end zone untouched. "26-9 is our score. Bulldogs able to score in 5 seconds to add on to their lead. We have some late substitutions coming in right now. Correction, we have an injured player over there on the far side for the Bulldogs. He was on the sideline, but they were waiting until that young man was up on his feet, as he is able to walk to the Bulldogs sideline. So this one's up and it is good. So the point at the attempt is good for the Bulldogs to extend the lead here, 27-9. So 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Bulldogs are able to extend their lead right after the 10-yard interception return by David Brown III. So now the Bulldogs are sitting in good position right now with the lead, and they will get the ball to open up second half of play here in Cypress, Texas, at Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium. Right now, the Bulldogs came in today's game with a record of 3-1 overall, with 1-0 overall record in Region 2, District 16, 6A play for the Cypress Lakes. Spartans came in with a record of 2-2 and 1-0 in District 16, Region 2, 6A play. So the winner of this contest is trying to remain undefeated in district play. Right now, all that favor is leaning to the Bulldogs, and Coach Mendoza would like to keep it that way. Brendan to kick from his 40, back deep for Spartans will be number 5, Crowder, standing at his own 10-yard line. And then number 26. So number 25, that's number 28, actually, Bryce Arrington. Arrington still on his feet, made a lot of defenders misses out the 50, at the 45, trying to make defenders more misses, finally throwing tackle out of bounds on the Bulldogs side. It's finally thrown out of bounds on the Bulldogs 30-yard line, but we have penalty markers back on the Spartan side of the field here at the Spartans 45. You got 3 penalty markers here, so looks like this one might go against the Spartans. If you're the Bulldogs, you're hoping so after that big return by Bryce Arrington, getting this one past midfield into the Bulldogs territory, deep inside of it. So we await the call. I'd like to remind our listeners that you can join the Temple of Refuge Ministry Sunday service at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-0000. Again, that number is 857-777-0000. Also, you'd like to know, you can visit our 24-hour stream at obnradio.com to catch any rebroadcast of the games and special programs. So it was a holding that went against the receiving team. Bulldogs just going to elect to re-kick this one and see if they try to keep this one out of the dangerous return man right there, Mr. Arrington. He was able to put a good 60-yard return right there. But the holding call is going to stop it. So the clock's going to be at 119. So they'll just re-kick this one. Again, Brendan kicking from his own 40, kicking from the left side of the field, kicking this off to the Spartans, who, once they receive this kick, should be moving from right to left. Brendan now kicks this one, a high kick, received by Arrington inside the 5, going to try and get a return. Arrington now runs to the left side, looking for blockers. Now cuts back down, looking for another. Finally going to be the ball is loose. The ball is loose and recovered by the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs are able to get back-to-back turnovers. Recovered by Mr. Boudreaux for the Bulldogs. So now the Bulldogs going to have this one. And once again, inside Spartans territory, officially at the Spartans 36-yard line. What seemed like what was about to be another big return out of Arrington. Arrington coughed the ball up as a hit was made on him, and the Bulldogs were able to fall on it. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, 1:08 remaining here in the second quarter. Tristan Gaines and this offense ready to try to increase this lead once again. Shotgun formation for him, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Look at the pass. Well protected pocket for him. He's going to take a shot downfield. It's going to be it caught, almost caught by his intended receiver, Haynes. There was some pushing and shoving going for that ball. But we do have, yet again, another penalty marker coming out on the field. We're going to see if this one goes against the Spartans for pass interference. It's not like the end of field where you're getting inside the spot of the foul. Would have been half the distance to the goal line inside, since it was secured inside the end zone. But they'll just take the 10 yards that was free given to them. 13th penalty marker against the Cypress Lakes Spartans here. Push the Bulldogs to a 1st and 10. Ball is spotted at the Spartans 26-yard line. 59 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Shotgun formation for Gaines, 2 receivers to his right. Gaines fakes it. Look at the pass. Steps up. Going to take a shot downfield. Trying to connect his receiver, Robert Carter, on a real route, but just too much on it. Great play call right there. Great design. But just a little bit too much put on that ball by Gaines. Take a little bit off of it. The Bulldogs have another touchdown right there. So it's going to stop the clock at 50 seconds. Ball is spotted at the Spartans' 26-yard line. From here, it'll be about a 41-yard field goal attempt. Second and 10 now for Tristan Gaines in his offense. 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. We got a penalty marker coming in right now. The play clock was down to 2 seconds. Like, might get a false start. So a false start is going to go against the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs pick up their 7th penalty here in the first half. So already 7 penalties for the Bulldogs here in the first half, and 13 for the Spartans. So it's going to push the Bulldogs back to the Spartans' 31-yard line now. 50 seconds remaining here. Shotgun formation for had a stoppage in the play as actually Side Lakes want to talk things over here on this second down and 15 plays. So we'll step away momentarily. Keep right where you got it. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium, where the Bulldogs have this one, the 27-9 lead over the Cypress Lake Spartans. Shotgun formation for Gaines on the design quarterback keeper. Gaines run this up the middle. Gaines got 1 man to beat, makes 1 man to defend me. Now it's going to run this back to the right side, and the Gaines going to be in for the touchdown. Gaines is able to run this one 31 yards out, and the Bulldogs extend their lead here. On the design, quarterback keeper had blockers in front of them, able to follow those blockers, got all the way up to about the 10, had to make a cut back to the right side of the field, then made one defender miss, froze him, outran him to the end zone to complete the 31-yard touchdown run by Tristan Gaines. So point at the tip, snap is good, the hold is good, but the kick is no good. 38 seconds remaining here in. We have a stoppage in the play right now. Don't know if they're going to re-kick this one. There's a penalty marker on the play. But the initial call that the kick was no good. So it was a half additions to the goal. So the Bulldogs are going to actually bring out the offense here on this one. Try to get those 2 points back that were given up earlier, right after an 81-yard touchdown reception that would have had the game tied up. So now this was going to be kept by Carter. Carter trying to run this one in on the Wildcat formation, but is unable to get in. So our score will remain the Bulldogs 33, the Cypress Lake Spartans 9, with 38 seconds remaining here. And the Bulldogs will get the ball to open up the second half of play. Right now, the Bulldogs were able to capitalize on, at one point, was a 20-9 lead, and then were able to put up 14 unanswered points right there, right after they were able to run a 14-yard touchdown in by Carter. They got a 10-yard interception return for a touchdown by their defense, David Brown III, to make it 7 unanswered points. And now Gaines able to run this one 31 yards out to make it 14 unanswered points put up by the Bulldogs so far. So now here going to be a good kick by Brent. It's going to be kicked into the end zone, but the return man, Fields, is going to try to make a return, makes a man miss, come back to the left side of the field, and finally wrapped up and dragged down past his 30, wrapped up by number 0. That is Deshaun McGarry. But Fields is able to give the Spartans good field position here. Going to have this one past the 30. I'm going to say officially at the 33. So that's where they'll have this one. Spartans have 2 timeouts remaining. 27 seconds remaining here. Shotgun formation for Alcorn. 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Alcorn fakes the initial. Now looking to pass. He's going to complete with the receiver number 1, Courtney. Courtney's at the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 25, the 15. He's going to be in for the touchdown. So 67-yard connection from Alcorn to Courtney Lewis, and Lewis was able to outrun that Bulldog defense and do the rest himself. Now have our score 33-15. Again, the Spartans were lined up in a funky formation like they were going to go for two, but now won't line up in the point at the attempt formation. Low, bad snap. It almost should have been blocked. And this one is going to be flipped to the kicker. The Bulldogs able to stop the point at the attempt right there. Was a low snap initially and didn't give the holder enough time to put the ball up for his kicker, and then just had to pull it back as the play was blowing up and tried to flip it to the kicker, actually to try to run it in, but the Bulldogs was all over that one. But the Spartans are able to go one play, 67 yards into the end zone to cut down into the Bulldogs' lead now. 33-15 is our score. Bulldogs are going to see if they can try to return the favor here, the one play, one score of their own, or just be pleased and satisfied and take the lead that they already have going into halftime. If you're the Bulldogs, can't fall asleep here. The Spartans did try to complete an onside kick earlier in the game, but the kick went out of bounds. They tried to kick it to the short side, so they're going to have this one actually lined up over there on the right hash, kicking from right to left. So we're going to see if the Spartans try to do what they did earlier in the game. See if they try to kick that ball over there. They have about two Bulldogs over there kind of to the left side, and you have four Spartans. So this was actually going to be a high kick, just returned by the return man Haynes, and Haynes is going to actually lose yardage. Instead of running north and south, he's running east and west, and actually going to say he lost about 4 yards on that return. Spartans electing to kick it deep right there. A short kick. A return by Haynes for a loss of about 4 yards. So the Bulldogs will have this one at their own 23-yard line. Looks like they're just going to take a knee and take this one into halftime. Gaines out there counting to make sure you got the correct number of teammates to be all on the field. And Gaines does that just so. So that will take us to halftime, where the Bulldogs leading by a score of 33-15 over the Cypress Lake Spartans. We'll take a break for halftime, but come back and we'll give you live coverage here of the second half between the Waller Bulldogs and the Cypress Lake Spartans. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Thank you for joining me on this presentation today. My name is Mike Prince. I'm also known as the Radio Guy. Been operating Open Mic Broadcast Network since 2002. There's a simple purpose and motivation for why I'm putting this presentation together. I want to help people. I want to help people get their visions and dreams off the ground without you going broke. It's really that simple. I was inspired many years ago by being able to provide access of connecting families together by way of sporting events or sermons. So what I am about to share with you right now can be done for under 20 bucks. Once I laid all this out to you, there would naturally be nothing else you would need to do if you were just simply wanting to get your podcast off the ground, running,
with quality sound. In fact, everything that you're hearing on this presentation are going to be connected with the items that I'm going to make mention of here real soon. Tip number one, whatever it is you decide you want to do your podcast on, content is king. In our case, we cover sports and the gospel. With Little League, Pee Wee football, high school sports, and collegiate sports, we have more than enough content to help us constantly have something to be done. Need I say anything else about the ministry? I'm a local pastor. I provide Bible studies as well, Sunday morning sermons available through our website. So the one thing you need to understand, content is everywhere. Another beauty about the content or whatever it is that you're looking to cover, 9 times out of 10, the content is free, hoping and praying that someone would look in their direction to help them tell their story. That's what this is all about. It matters not what you cover. If you cover cotton balls, I guarantee you, if you have an interest in it, someone else has an interest in it. If you like crickets, the same holds for that. Whatever your content is, I guarantee you there's someone within an earshot that will share the same interest that you have. So the content is everywhere. The next vital thing is consistency. Whether you're going to have your show come on monthly, weekly, or daily, whatever day you choose, whatever time you choose, you make sure that you are consistent with your delivery. A lot of people get hung up in how long should the program be. The program goes as long as you have content available. Don't force the issue. If you have 5 minutes of content and it's good quality content, so be it. But don't think that you have to have 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 60 minutes, 120 minutes. That doesn't matter. Just make sure that you have the content and make sure that the content is consistent. Your schedule is very important. If you're going to come on Fridays at noon, you make sure that Friday at noon, you're there with your face in the place. You make sure that whatever your schedule is, you stick to it. Another thing, in the case of live versus delayed, a podcast is a delayed broadcast. In our case of sporting events, we do a lot of live sporting events. We also do a lot of delayed sporting events. And there are pros and cons for both of them. The quick pros of doing a live versus a delayed sporting event, you're getting it as it unfolds right there. We get it, got there, been there, done it, have the t-shirt to prove it. But the pros to a delayed broadcast is you control the flow of the broadcast. And a very simple tip, when you're doing this, you don't need expensive mixer. You probably are listening to this presentation on the very device that you can use. That's your cell phone. We're going to get into that in just a few moments. You control the flow. Once you have the content flowing, in the event of a live broadcast for a football game, we know that there's halftime. We know that there are timeouts, this, that, and the other. You might be a novice. You have no support, no sponsorships. Using this technique will help you down the road. Here it is. At any pause of the action, simply hit the mute button on your phone. The mute button on your phone will serve as an indicator when you go to the editing process of how and where you need to cut for your content to be one seamless stream of audio. For example, at the end of the first half of a football game, you'll pause or hit the mute. You hit the mute, gather up and tally your stats, unmute, give a report on what the halftime stats are, hit the mute button again, second half starts. You then go, unmute, start the second half of play, and let the game continue. Once you get done with your broadcast, you go download it, fuse it all together, bingo, you have your presentation. It's really that simple. Here's an idea for you if you are one that really You like the sports, but you don't want to spend 3 or 4 hours it would take to cover a football game. Here's one just for you. You can simply develop a rapport with your local coach, with a regional coach, or even a national coach. Do interviews by way of phone using the very tools that we're about to share with you. You can capture the conversation using the software of your choice. We'll break that down in just a minute. You have your show ready to go. If you're not into the sports, you might be into politics. You can do your local government. You could take care and interview local ministries, pastors, evangelists, share the mission stories, whatever the information is that you want to get out there and build your listening audience. It is there and ready for the making. There are tools that you're going to need to get this project up and running, to have an internet stream flow, or for people who might not have internet access, they could dial a phone number and there they are able to listen to your programming. It's really that simple. I'm in a rural area. All internet is not equal. So what I would do in the matter of a delayed broadcast, we dial in, we do the broadcast. Some that are able to catch the broadcast live, they catch the broadcast live. But we're now in a position where we have that broadcast captured. We take it, edit it to our standard, and there's a 3-step standard that we use that I recommend that anyone uses, and it will help enhance your audio quality, because trust me, people are concerned about audio quality. And I want you to really understand that. A lot of people will try to sell you on stereo, 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 when mono will work fine, especially if you're dealing with talk radio, sports talk radio, or ministry radio. Mono is perfect. The 3 steps that we highly recommend that you use with the editing software: noise reduction, compressing, and normalizing. In that order: noise reduction, compression, and normalizing. That balances out your audio regardless if it's coming to a phone line, regardless if you're using a lapel mic in open air space where you get all that background noise. Those 3 steps will help you tremendously enhance and add quality to your show. The item that we recommend you start off with that will get you in the game for under $20 would be item number 1, a lapel mic. You heard me just mention a lapel mic. Here's why I recommend a lapel mic. A lapel mic could actually serve as a dual purpose if you're a one-man operation. It could serve if you don't have a lot of money. The lapel mic serves as a crowd mic and a direct mic for you to speak into. It will pick up the background noise of the crowd while you're at a game. It will pick up the buzzing noise of the crowd while you're at a political event, or while you're at a community event, or while you're at a church service. So it serves that dual purpose without you having to invest in a whole lot of equipment. I am using a lapel mic right now. The amount I paid for this lapel mic was $1.78. I am going to say you could find a lapel mic for $3 or less on eBay, on Amazon, on eBay, wherever you can do online shopping in those type of venues. I almost guarantee you that you'll be able to find a lapel mic for $3 or less. The next thing you're going to need is what is called a Y splitter. Now, there are 2 types of Y splitters. There's a wired Y splitter, and then there's a hard case Y splitter. I highly recommend that you invest in the hard case Y splitter. They might be a little bit more expensive, but you should not be able to spend more than $3 for that hard case Y splitter. And the reason being is that when you get over time of wear and tear of the wire, it creates a more of a static sound, which is not a good, pleasant sound when you're trying to get your shows together. So far, we spent $3 on the lapel mic. We spent $3 on the Y splitter. And then here comes an upgrade, $5 for some earbuds or a cheap headset. You can go to your dollar store and find some earbuds probably cheaper than the $5 we just mentioned. But for the intents and purposes of this presentation, we're going to stick at $5. Some of you listening, you might not like the appeal of a lapel mic. You can go and get a headset mic, once again, from your dollar store. That is all the equipment you would literally need. Now, for the magic part of your startup kit for your monster podcasting is the audio software program. I am an Android user. I went to Google Play. I found an audio editing program for under $5. So we're going to say $5 for the program. And what you need this program to do are the three things I just made mention of earlier. It needs to be able to noise reduce, it needs to be able to compress, and it needs to be able to normalize. I prefer the MP3 method because we do talk shows and sporting events. That program and the other items that I just made mention of to you, you could get for under $20. Our tally had us at $16 for this presentation. It is really that short, that sweet, that simple. I developed a motto over years. Love what you do, simplify what you do, master what you do. With that motto, we've been able to take the very tools that you heard me mention, and we are able to generate a podcast that is received throughout the nation. The proof is in the pudding. You can visit at obnradio.com. You might not be in a situation where you could actually afford a website. No need to worry. No need to panic. You could use your Facebook page. You could create a Facebook page absolutely free. You could use Twitter. You could use Instagram, or you can even use YouTube. YouTube is an option that could help spread your content. Everything that we made mention of came out to $16, if not less, but definitely less than $20. And you could be podcasting today. It doesn't take $1,500 worth of equipment. It doesn't take $500 worth of equipment. It doesn't even take $100 worth of equipment. I hope this information was enlightening for you. I hope this information was inspirational for you. And if this information was of any value to you, I would encourage you to stick around and reach out to me by way of Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. I am the radio guy, Mike Prince. Thank you for joining us. You guys be blessed. And until the next time, we'll see you on the other side.
And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. Here for the halftime. We're about 15 minutes out until we start the second half of play with the Bulldogs right now leading by a score of 13-15 over the Cypress Lake Spartans. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back for the second half of football. You're listening to the Mike Broadcast Network. And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium, where the Bulldogs, leading by a score of 33-15 over the Cypress Lake Spartans, were just wrapping up, getting out of that halftime show as it is homecoming night here for the Cypress Lake Spartans. So the Bulldogs are trying to see if they can continue. Spoiler alert here, with the lead that they have, the Bulldogs will receive the opening kickoff for the second half to start. I'm going to give some quick stats for you, penalty stats for you in that first half. The Cypress Lake Spartans unofficially had 14 penalty markers for 86 total yards, and then the Bulldogs committed 7 penalties in that first half for a total of 60 yards. The Bulldogs were able to capitalize on an 81-yard touchdown strike from Tristan Gaines to Caden Sherry to get the scoring opening for them as they were able to capitalize on a 14-yard touchdown ran out by Robert Carter back in the second quarter to have the lead 20-19. It seemed like the Cypress Lakes were just going to get the ball right back to cut the lead in half. Ended up throwing an interception that was returned for a touchdown to have the lead 26-9. Then the Bulldogs were able to recover the fumble on the kickoff return and then capitalize 31 yards out on a touchdown run by Tristan Gaines. And then the Spartans were able to connect one play out 67 yards from their quarterback Jimmy Alcorn to Courtney Lewis for 67 yards. And that's where we have it. 33-15 is our score. Both teams have just ran out of their tunnels. The Bulldogs coming in wearing the maroon helmet with the W on the right, numbers on the left, white top, wall going across the chest, maroon numbers with maroon pants and a black thick stripe going down the side. For the home team Spartans of Cypress Lake wearing the red helmet with lakes going across the side of the helmet. Red top, white numbers trimmed in silver, looks like, with the red bottom. So, like I said, the Bulldogs will receive this kickoff moving from right to left, sharing back deep at about his own 10-yard line. The Bulldogs kind of showing almost seamlessly an onside recovery formation. They have 6 defenders here lined up across the 50. Then you have 3 defenders lined up across the 40. Then you have 1 defender, or say return man, over there on the 25. That's mobile. And Caden Sherry, who's got 20 yards beneath him. Now the Bulldogs finally kind of trying to clear up that gap. There was about a 20-yard gap between Sherry, but from his men that were on the 40-yard line. So now they kind of move mobile back to the 30. And they have Allen Haynes standing on the opposite 30. So now it's going to be a low line drive kick. Sherry plays the bounce now, has it, returns it at the 15, makes one man, tried to make one miss, but it's going to be up and stopped at about the 25-yard line. So that's where the Bulldogs will have this one again, moving from right to left. So the Bulldogs trying to keep the momentum and the pressure that they had here. It was a good turnout here for the Cypress Lakes homecoming night. And so far, it's all been the favor of the Bulldogs. Now Tristan Gaines ready to work with the lead. Pistol formation for this first look for the Bulldogs here in the second half. Pistol formation, 2 receivers to his left. Carter's the running back. Ball's going to be handed off to Carter. Carter trying to run up the middle is going to be met immediately by 2 Spartan defenders right there. The first one getting his hands on there was number 13, Anthony Powell. So we're going to say Carter lost a yard right there. So we're going to make it a 2nd down and 11 now for the Bulldogs. Push the ball back to their own 24-yard line. The Bulldogs, they're going to try and take their time here. Now they break the huddle. Now ready to go. It's going to be a tight formation here. Bunch, you got two receivers to the left, two to the right now. Mobile comes in motion from left to right. Gains in the shotgun formation, gets this ball, looking to snap, looking to pass, steps on the pocket, now rolling to the left, going to take this and run, trying to follow his blockers. And the one man that was initially guarding Mobile went away from the play and went towards Tristan Gaines to actually stop Gaines from getting any positive yardage right there. Gaines was just lucky he got back to the original line of scrimmage or where that second down play was. So it'll remain of no gain on that play. So to make it a third down and 11 now after all that. Gaines was not able to find an open receiver right there. Was trying to take it and run it, but went for no yards. Now this third down and 11, trying to throw the misdirection around screen, trying to connect to his receiver, Allen Haynes. But all over that screen play was their corner, number 4, Stephen Akula. So Akula is able to stop Haynes. Actually say he lost 2 yards on that reception. So it's going to have to force Mendoza to bring out the punting unit on this first drive, not how they envisioned things going out for the Bulldogs on that first drive, as the Bulldogs have to get a man off the field. Thought he was a late substitution, but he's actually one too many men. So now the correct number for men is out on the field for the Bulldogs. This is going to take a bounce. And Carter now has it at the 40, makes one miss. Not going to cut back to the left side of the field. Do have a penalty marker. Got another Carter at the 20. Carter's going to be in for the touchdown, but we do have, like I say, another penalty marker behind the play. Don't look like it's going to stand on the 60-yard punt return for the touchdown by Courtney Lewis. You have a penalty marker back here around the 46 and the 47 behind the play. Looks like they might flag number 22, Cameron Dumas, on right there. Should have let the Waller defender just go. So we'll wait the call. But nevertheless, it is going to go against the Spartans. Not the deal breaker that the Spartans needed right there. That would have, well, for sure. Would have definitely changed the outcome of what the game was heading to if that touchdown was able to stand. A punt return for a touchdown. But now Spartans are going to have this one spotted at their own 37-yard line. Like to remind you, you're listening to the Mike Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics. So as we get ready to set here for this first down play for Alcar, working in a pistol formation, tried to get the Bulldogs to jump on a hard count, but the Bulldogs are showing discipline right there. No jump. So now Alcorn ready to work. Now 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. His ball's going to be handed off to Fields. Fields trying to run to the right side, trying to follow his blockers. Let the play develop. He's going to pick up positive yards right there. Picked up 6 yards after that run. So you see the Spartans trying to work with a little bit more momentum now here. As they're quickly back on the line now. Again, Alcala try to get the Bulldogs to jump with a hard count snap right there, but the Bulldogs staying disciplined once again. Now the second down and 4 play for Alcala, shotgun formation, high snap, but it's going to be able to maintain it, give it off to his running back Fields easily. Trying to run to the right side. He's going to lower his shoulder, just run out of bounds. It's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. So he's going to say he got 3 yards in that carry. He's going to say about 2 yards actually on that carry. So it's a third down and 2 for the Bulldogs. Some substitution is coming in now for the Bulldogs. Late man finally got off the field, but now Spartans are looking at 3rd and 2, 8:47 remaining here in the third quarter. This ball's going to be handed off the Fields. Fields jumps out to the left side. Left side's got a 1 man to beat the 45. Fields at the 30. Fields trying to angle him out the 25. He got tackled right about the 23. Nice tackle by the safety number 23, Huber's touchdown saving tackle, but we have a penalty marker once again back here on the 34, on the 44 on the Spartan side of the field. So already the Cypress Lakes do have one penalty marker here in the the second half. Now go ahead and mark that their second one and their 16th total penalty in this contest. So it's going to make it a third down and 12 now for the Spartans. Ball's going to be pushed back all the way back to their own 35-yard line. Clock will roll now. 8:36 remaining here in the third quarter. 20 seconds remaining on the play clock. Alcorn, now working in the shotgun formation. Got two receivers to his left, two to his right. Did walk down to give the new play call to his offensive line. Now he's ready to go. Working in shotgun formation. Going to pump fake. Now he's going to step up in the pocket. Going to take this run. Now he's at the cross 50, at the 50. That's going to come back to the 45. He's going to take 1 minute. Now spins out. He's going to finally throw around the 45. Good run right there by Alcorn to step up in the pocket. 33-yard run by Alcorn to get this one inside the Bulldogs territory, officially at the Bulldogs 32-yard line. $8:10 remaining here in the third quarter. Spartans trailing by a score of 15-33, but are knocking on the door to cut into that Bulldogs deficit. Alcorn looking to pass, now rolling to his right. Going to try to take a shot to his receiver. It's going to be incomplete. Spartans sideline looking for the penalty marker. Thought the safety, Weston Hubertus, got in there early, but it's great coverage by him to deflect that ball away from the intended receiver, number 1, Courtney Lewis, to force it now a second down and 10 now for the Spartans. Alcorn now signaling the new play to his right receivers over there to the far side. So now this one's going to be a fake to hand off to the running back. Fields trying to now throw the design wide receiver screen over here to the right side of the field to Anthony Bradley, but the Bulldogs are all over that one. Leading them on that one was number 52, young man Trace Geigley. 7:25 remaining here in third quarter. Spartans looking at a 3rd and 9 now. Earlier, it was about a 4th and long that kept the offense out on the field. So we'll see if this is 4 down territory for the Spartans. 3rd down and 9 for them. Shotgun formation for Alcorn. Alcorn looking the pass, going to be caught by the receivers. He's at the 5. He's going to be in. The ball is loose. The ball is loose. Right now they're saying a touchdown. I thought they might have called that one early. The ball came loose. But they're going to say Amari Barnes, is in for the touchdown after he caught the slant, was able to throw off and break off one tackle and outrun the Bulldogs the rest of the 5 yards to get in. And somehow, some way, you thought the Bulldogs got away with one. The ball was loose. You thought they were able to strip him before he crossed into the end zone. But they say that Mr. Barnes was able to cross the plane before the ball got ripped out. So now it'll have our score, the Bulldogs leading 33-21 over the Cypress Spartans. The Spartans just right there tried to go for the 2-point conversion, but failed. One of those things where they were lined up in the Wildcat or an odd formation other than the point after attempt. And this time they stuck with it, tried to run it in, but the Bulldogs were all over that one. That's how our score is 33-21. The Bulldogs are trying to answer with the score of their own. Their first drive stalled in a 3-and-out and essentially had to punt off to the Spartans. And the Spartans thought they had returned a 60-yard punt return for a touchdown, but got called back for the hold. But that did not keep the Spartans out of the end zone, and they were able to capitalize right there. 24 yards out for the touchdown. Back deep for the Bulldogs will be number 10, Caden Sherry. Sherry's going to let this one just bounce into the end zone. I'd like to remind our listeners that you can share your scores and stories on our 24-hour message line at 936-463-2405. You can text and call again and sharing your scores at this number at 463-2405. And also you can visit our 24-hour stream at the Open Mic Broadcast Network at obnradio.com to catch any rebroadcast of the games and special programs. We said this game is being brought to you by the Temple of Refuge Ministry, building the kingdom one soul at a time. We'll get ready to resume back into action here. TK Gaines ready to work for a second look at things here in the second half. Now it's going to hand this one off to Carter. Trying to run to the right side, trying to follow his blockers, but this one's going to be met and actually for a loss. But they're saying that Robert Carter is going to be stopped for the forward progress. So he's going to say he got back to the original line of scrimmage. So no run for Robert Carter. So making second down and 10 now for the Bulldogs. Gaines now breaking the huddle, telling Carter his new assignment. Now he has two receivers to his right, two to his left. Low snap. Now Gaines is going to get this one, trying to follow his blockers, trying to throw off defenders. He's going to be able to do so successfully and fall forward for a positive gain. Going to say he picked up about 8 yards on that design quarterback keeper. Trying to follow his lead blocker right there was Gaines trying to follow Carter. Did a nice job of following Carter for a gain of 8, so we're going to make it third down and 2 now for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs breaking the huddle now. Ball lined up directly in the center. Tight formation. Got two receivers to the right, one to the left. This ball's going to be pitched out to Carter to the right side. Carter trying to hit the outside, trying to hit the numbers. And he's going to have the ball stretched out for the first down. We're going to see if they give it to him. That's not a generous spot right there. They're saying a fourth down. Carter couldn't hit it out there to the outside corner to the numbers. Need to get 2. We're going to say he only got 1 until it was forced out of bounds. So the Bulldogs going to try to get onside. Get my words together here. The Bulldogs ran quick to the line there, tried to get the Spartans to jump off signs. It looks like they did because we have penalty markers coming out on the field. Bulldogs are pointing, and the Spartans are pointing. But right now, we only can wait for one man to make the call. From here, it looked like the Spartans jumped early. So they wait the call. So the Bulldogs able to come away with the chess match right there. Come away victorious on a little chess match right there. Try to hustle up to the line. try to get the onside, or either get the quarterback sneak, pick up the first down. They would have gladly took whichever one came first, and it happened to be the onside. So it'll be a 1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs. Ball is spotted at their own 41-yard line, moving from right to left. Low snap for Gaines. Gaines going to hand this off to Carter. Carter trying to run to the right side. Carter's at the 50. Carter's at the 45. Carter's got one man to beat, and Carter's going to be finally tripped and tackled by the knees past the 45 at the 40, officially at the Spartans' 39-yard line. So Carter seamlessly had a quiet first half, able to get his biggest run in the second half here. Good to go for 15 yards right there. That'll be 1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs, able to pick up back-to-back first down, one off the offsides, and now a run by Carter to have this one inside the Spartans territory at the 39-yard line. Shotgun formation for a game. One receiver to his right, two to his left. Again, they come to Carter on the tried to run that counter once again, that misdirection counter going to the right side, but this time the Spartans all over that one. They're going to say they tackled Carter now for a loss of a yard to push the ball back now to the 40. 4:18 remaining here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs lead them by a score of 33-21 over the Cypress Lake Spartans. Bulldogs taking their time here, trying to take off as much time as possible while keeping the momentum on their side with trying to put points, trying to sustain the lead that they have right now. We have a stoppage in the play. We have a penalty marker that's coming in. The play clock is at 0. So it looks like this might go against the Bulldogs. But right before you can get that, they say Mendoza was able to get the the timeout signaled off in time. So we'll take a quick timeout and be right back right after this. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
If you got a big, let me search it. I gotta work, yeah.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Science Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium, where the Bulldogs have this one 2nd down and 11. Gaines looking to pass. The Gaines going to be thrown this in, completed to the wide receiver number 12, Rowan Mobile for the touchdown. 40-yard touchdown reception from Tristan Gaines to Mobile to increase the Bulldogs' lead here now, 39-21. So the quick strike out of the timeout for the Bulldogs, 40 yards out, and they're able to extend their lead here in Cypress, Texas. Braden, kick is up, and it is good. So 3:39 remaining here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs leading by a score of 40-21. We'll take a quick break. We'll keep right where you got it. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Work it, let me work it. Go bang down, flip it and reverse it. If you got a big, let me search it. I gotta work, yeah.
welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, where the Bulldogs were able to capitalize out of their timeout, 40 yards out from shifting games to go and mobile to have this one now 40-21 is our score. Brendan Keek is received by the return man. He's trying to follow his blockers. That's number 8, Davion Ivy. Ivy got this one inside his own 10 and was able to get past the 25. Seems like past the 30. See after where they get the official spot for this one where the Spartans will get it. Say officially now at the 35-yard line. So that's where the Spartans will get this one. Been about averagely where they've been getting the starting field position for them. So they have this one trailing to the Bulldogs here on their homecoming night. Alcorn back in at quarterback, ready to work here. He's going to keep this one on the read option, trying to run and spin. Almost did like a half spin right there, trying to avoid the hit right there. And somehow they give him credit out of that spin. Thought he might have only picked up 7 or 8, but they say he was able to pick up the full 10 to keep the sticks alive now for the Spartans. First and 10 now for them. Ball is at their own 45-yard line. Quick hard count right there by Alcorn, but no jump by the Bulldogs. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Walking up to the line of scrimmage to give this offensive line the new blocking assignment. Now fakes the handoff to Fields, looking to pass, rolling out to his left, going to complete to his wide receiver Lewis underneath. Bulldogs might got away with one right there as Bazan was able to tackle Courtney Lewis and then kind of just gave him an extra brotherly shove after he was already out of bounds. No call. So it will remain a 2nd down and 5 now for the Spartan. Ball is at midfield. Shotgun formation for Alcorn. Alcorn looking to pass, now rolling to his right. Has a receiver. Is going to take this one. It's going to be caught. Nice concentration right there by Anthony Bradley. Say that reception is good for another gain of 18 yards. So this is going to put the ball inside the Bulldogs territory. Officially, say at the Bulldogs 32-yard line. 2:19 is where the clock is. Stopped momentarily, but it will roll now. 15 seconds remaining on the play clock. Fields goes in motion now. Alcala looking at pass, going to be a pass that's trying to hit his receiver number 5, Crowder, who was sitting right there in the soft zone of the spot of the zone. But the ball was a little bit out behind him, but a ball that Crowder would definitely tell you that he should have caught. Would have been a positive game, about 7 right there. And Crowder definitely would have took a big hit at the end of receiving that one, which probably would have caused him to drop it. So now making a 2nd down and 10 plays. The ball's going to be handed off to Fields. Fields trying to follow his blockers. They're going to decide to cut back up midfield. A play that was designed to try to go to the left side. Try to make a cut back up midfield. Fall forward, graciously picking up. Say he picked up 4 or 5 yards, but officially to say a 4-yard gain. So 3rd down and 6 now for the Spartans. Pretty much here on the way out for the rest of the game. It might be 4-down territory for them. Shotgun formation for Carter. Carter taking a shot. This ball's going to be caught. Skimmer's going to say incomplete pass. Was trying to connect with Amiri Barnes, but could not sustain the catch coming down to the ground. As the Bulldogs had an extra defender right there, being the turf to cause the ball to come loose right there to make it a 4th down and 6 play now for Spartans. And they're going to keep the offense out on the field for this 4th down play. The Bulldogs got to be disciplined right now, not to give up free 5 yards to make it a 4th down and 1. Play clock is at 7. Now the snap. Looking to pass. Alcorn's going to take a shot, and it's going to be incomplete. Overthrew his intended receiver, number 1, Courtney Lewis. Put it a bit too high. If he's able to lead him right there, you can count that another touchdown on the impressive day that Courtney Lewis has had so far. But that ball was just out of the reach for him. It's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Bulldogs defense is able to stand up strong and stop the Spartans offense right there to bring out the Bulldogs offense. 1:21 remaining here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs leading by a score of 40-21 over the Spartans. Bulldogs will be home next week, taking on Cypress Ranch. Kickoff's supposed to set at 7 p.m. So ready to resume back into play here. This one's going to be handed off to Carter. Carter running to the left side of the field now, and it's going to say he picked up about 3 yards on that one. Stayed in bounds, tackled in bounds. Clock will continue to roll. 50 seconds here. Ball is spotted at the Bulldogs' 31-yard line. Again, moving from right to left. Mobile comes in motion from left to right. Gaines gets the snap. Looking to pass. Going to take a shot downfield. Trying to connect his receiver. Mobile. But just too much put on that ball. And that was probably would have been Mobile's second touchdown of the day and another house call. Of course, Gaines would like to have that ball back. That one would have been his third throwing touchdown of the day and his 4th total touchdown he's responsible for. But nevertheless, we'll make it a 3rd down and 7 play now for TK Gaines in his offense. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Working in the shotgun formation. It's going to be the quarterback keeper. He's going to run this to the right side. Got room to run. Lowers the shoulder. Does TK Gaines. And he's picking up the 1st down as well. So Gaines only need to pick up 8. He's able to pick up 12 right there on that game, on that run right there. So we'll see if that will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. And it looks like it will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. So at the end of 3, the Bulldogs leading by a score of 40-21 over the Cypress Lake Spartans. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have live coverage of the 4th quarter.
Thank you for
You're listening
joining me
to
on
the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
It's time to make that all-important call. For your ride home, please take out your cell phone and make
What?
And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium, where the Bulldogs have this one and the lead. Ball's going to be handed off to the running back, Bujo. Bujo trying to spin out a tackle, still on his feet, getting an extra push from his offensive line. Play is not blown dead, and somehow, some way, Bujo's able to get out of the pile, the middle of that pile, and the play is finally blown dead. If he didn't get out of the pile, it would have been about a 5-yard gain, but he slipped his way out of that somehow for the 4-yard gain after the play finally been blown dead. So second down and say 6 now for the Bulldogs, moving from left to right. Ball is spotted at the Bulldogs' 49-yard line. Bulldogs trying to take off as much time here and put the icing on the cake on this one with this drive. Gain in the shotgun formation, empty set. Got a stoppage in the play as the Bulldogs are going to have to take their second timeout here in the second half. So they're going to be left with one. Play clock got all the way down to 0. So Mendoza, with the heads up, has to call his second timeout. With the lead, he'll be okay with it. Clock will stop at 11 minutes and 3 seconds. Bulldogs trying to advance their overall record to 4-1 with the 2-0 district play. Right now, the Bulldogs have been able to control what has seems like a game that was starting off ugly and not in the favor of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs were able to capitalize and regain the momentum back in their favor after the Spartans were able to get the first touchdown into this contest to start it off. But then after that, it's been all Bulldogs here to this far point. 11:03. Now breaking out of the timeout. Here comes the Bulldogs lined up in this Wildcat formation. You got TK Gaines that's lined up in the wide receiver on the far side over there. I'm going to say Side Lakes wants to take a timeout and talk things over. So we'll take a quick timeout for ourselves. Keep right where you got it. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
What?
And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to action play here, as this is going to be, again, the Bulldogs lined up in the Wildcat formation. Carter on the keeper, trying to run to a play that's designed to go to the left side of the field over there. But this time, the Spartans were able to sniff that one out and actually say they tackled Carter for a loss of 2 yards right there. So it's going to make it a third down and 8 now for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs are going to bring back the regular personnel here on this 3rd and 8, with Gaines coming in at quarterback, working in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Sherry comes in motion from right to left. Gaines looking to pass, pump fakes, because they have a man just sitting right there in the soft spot of the defense. Spin moves out of one tackle. Finally still on his feet. Mobile's at the 5. Mobile's going to be in for the touchdown. Mobile sitting in the soft spot of the defense right around the 40. Going Mobile able to lower that shoulder, spin out of one tackle right around the Spartans 25, and then somehow stayed on his feet to spin out of one more tackle and angle it back to the right side of the field, where he's able to put on the Jets and outrun everybody. So the 55-yard touchdown reception from Jones to Mobile, and the Bulldogs are able to extend their lead here. The point after the attempt is up and is good. So 10:02 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs leading by a score of 47-21 over the Cypress Lakes Spartans. We'll take a quick break. Be right back. Rather than this, you're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
One, two, meet me outside. 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 Yo, meet me outside. 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 Meet me outside.
And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, with the Bulldogs were able to extend their lead here over the Cypress Lake Spartans. I'll remind you, this game is being sponsored by Temple of Refuge Ministries, located in Prairie View, Texas, building the kingdom one soul at a time. A proud partner with the Open Mic Broadcast Network, as this takes a bounce and finally recovered by the Spartans. And this one's going to be a nice move, trying to get out of defenders. Nice job by number 2, Amari Barnes. Barnes was able to split 2 Bulldog defenders right there. Probably should have been tackled somewhere around his 20, 15-yard line, but graciously got out of that, was able to stay on his feet and get this one to the field position that the Spartans are accustomed to having to, but not able to capitalize on the end of their drives. This one's going to be starting off at their own 38-yard line, moving from right to left, coming again wearing the all red helmet with a gray cage, red top, white numbers, red pants. Bulldogs coming in wearing the maroon helmet, W on the right, numbers on the left, white jersey, maroon numbers, maroon pants, black stripe going down the side as we get ready to resume back to play. All corners working the shotgun formation, looking past, going to throw this one to the numbers on the left side of the field, but ran out of real estate. Ball floated more out of bounds than it needed to.
What's up, my nigga?
Was so now it's going to make it a second down and 10 now for Alcara. Alcara looking to pass, pocket collapse, now go step up in the pocket and go take this one and run. Go try to follow his blockers. You're going to take this one and just step out of bounds. Did have enough for the first down. Needed to pick up 10 and got 12. Was Alcara on that not designed quarterback keeper. Well covered by the Bulldogs all over. But nice job by Alcara to just take that one and run it himself to keep the drive alive for the Spartans offense. Now, in the shotgun formation, got 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Looking to pass, and it was going to be caught by the receiver number 5. That is Crowder. Crowder's going to have enough for the first down. Some balls past midfield into the Bulldogs territory, say the Bulldogs 39-yard line. Clock stopped momentarily at 9:32. Spartans trying to pick up the momentum here. This ball's going to be handed off to Fields. Fields trying to stay on his feet, trying to drag. Seems like Bulldogs defenders with him not being able to go down lightly on that play, but was finally taken down by a host of Bulldogs to clean up that play. Was number 52, Trace Geigley. That was a hard 3-yard run by Fields. So to make it a second down and 7 now for the Spartans. Carla now getting the new play call, looking to pass. Bulldogs bringing some pressure right there. This ball's going to be thrown to the receiver. Had to make an adjustment catch, had to turn around, but was able to keep his concentration and secure that catch all the way through to his hand was Crowder for another 12-yard gain of reception right there. So now going to have this one inside the Bulldogs 25, say at the 24-yard line. Fields makes one man miss, now still on his feet, going to try follow his blockers and let the play that was supposed to go to the right ended up coming back to the left. So Fields ended up getting 5 yards on that carry. Second down and 5 now for the Spartans. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. All calling working in the shotgun formation. The Bulldogs brought a little bit more pressure this defensive drive. Now you'll see they're going to sit back in this zone. Now Carver's going to have to be flushed out of the pocket, just run this one. It's forced out of bounds by Trace Geigley, but I'm going to say Carver picked up, say, 4 yards on that one. So they're going to be third down and 6 now for the Spartans. The clock going to stop at 8:11 right now. (47-21) is our score. The Bulldogs leading. Shotgun formation for Carver. 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. One man came in motion from left to right, and this was going to be a quarterback keeper. Didn't look like it was supposed to be a design quarterback keeper. You see Fields almost kind of standing in the backfield of where the play happened, kind of shrugging his hands, like thinking he would have been better off getting that ball than Carver keeping it. But that 2-yard gain by Carver is going to make it a 4th down and 4 now for the Spartans. They're going to keep the offense out on the field. 7:40 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 2 receivers to Carver's left, 2 to his right. Gets the snap, looking to pass, has all day. Now it's going to take a shot to the end zone. This ball's going to should have been intercepted, but it's going to fall incomplete. So it's going to force a turnover on down. It's going to bring out the offense for the Bulldogs once again. Again, one of those things where the Bulldogs, of course, you'll take the turnover. But in this case, they would have got better starting field position. They would have got it back to the 25 if they were able to come away with that interception. But they'll have this one at their own 18-yard line. 7:27 is our score.
Keeping this facility beautiful. Whether you are a Bulldog or a Spartan, please look to your left, look to your right. Pick up any trash.
So Gaines ready to work now. Gaines gonna hand this one out to Carter. Carter trying to run to the right side, trying to follow his blockers, trying to follow his big lineman over there. Trying to follow Elias Hall right there was Carter. Running to the right side and able to follow Hall 4 or 5 yards. So 2nd down and 5 now for the Bulldogs. 7 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. So now we have this one. 2nd down and 5 for Tristan Gaines. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Gets the snap. Now delayed handoff to Carter. Carter trying to stay on his feet. Carter's at 30, at 35. Going to finally be tackled behind, but it's going to be stopped at the 40. Probably should have been at the 39, but a generous spot will take it if you're the Bulldogs. A good run right there for 20 yards by Carter. Able to stay on his feet. If he was able to keep his balance right there, he probably would have took that one for another 20, possibly to the house for the Bulldogs. But 1st and 10 now for them. 2 receivers for Gaines. To his left, 2 to his right. Tried to get the Spartans to jump on the hard count right there, but no call. So now looks over to the Bulldogs sideline to get the new play call. Now is ready to go. Now puts the mouthpiece back in. Tristan Gaines, the sophomore quarterback, gets the snap, looking to pass, steps up in the pocket, going to take a shot. It's open receiver, and there's going to be nobody to stop. Allen Haynes at the 5. He's in for the touchdown. 60-yard touchdown. as Tristan Gain is able to throw his 4th touchdown pass and his 5th touchdown, which is responsible for Bulldogs leading now by a score of 53-21. As you hate to see it, if you're the Cypress Lake Spartans, many of the students start to make their way towards the exit here during their homecoming night to continue the festivities elsewhere, while the Bulldogs continue to get things done here on the field where it matters most. 5:50 remaining here in the 4th quarter, and the point out there tip is up and it's good, and Mr. Brent Breeden can breathe with a little bit of sigh of relief as this one is not blocked. Kick is up and it's good. So 54-21 is our score. The Bulldogs are going to improve to a record of 4-1 overall and 2-0 in district play. That is 6A Region 2, District 16 play to be exact. So back deep for the Spartans. Number 2, that's Amiri Barnes. And number 5, Mr. Crowder. Crowder standing again about their own 10-yard line, but these two gentlemen alongside with number 28, Bryce Rarrington, do not let the ball go for a touchback at all. They try to return in anything as possible and have done a great job. Got the ball past the 30 almost every time. This ball's going to be off the the lineman right here, and recovered by the Bulldogs. I don't know if Breeden tried to do that intentionally, but a low line drive kick that went off the shin guards of the Spartans and then just right into the, I guess you could just say the laps, arms, however you want to call it. But the Bulldogs have yet another first, I guess, inadvised first turnover for them. 5:50 is the time remaining, and the Bulldogs are just going to try to put the icing on the cake to take as much time off the clock here to walk away victorious. Right now, they still got the first string out on the field right now. So they're going to just try to get as much reputation as they can in. Shotgun formation for Gaines. This ball's going to be handed off to the new running back, Boudreaux. Boudreaux's going to take this, try to run to the left side. Boudreaux running hard, still on his feet, and finally tackled, stayed in bounds. I'm going to say he picked up 8 yards out of there as you have Allen Haynes' helmet coming off the play at the end right there, but luckily he was already on the sideline, so somehow he's able to sneak his way back into the field, not having to take a play off. So now it's going to make a 2nd down and 2 now for the Bulldogs. 5:10 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Ball's past midfield into the Spartans territory, officially at the Spartans 38-yard line. This ball's going to be kept by Boudreaux. Kept by Gaines. Gaines is going to take a big hit. Gaines just going to add on to his impressive stat line already and just keep that one on the read option. Good to go. Enough for the first down. Like I said, only needed to pick up 6 and got. So you only need to pick up 4 and got 6. So 4:40 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Bulldogs are going to walk away victorious here. A game that like I said, started out ugly for the Bulldogs. Were forced to punt their first 3 drives to start off the game. And now they have the lead here, 54-21. As this handoff goes to Boudreaux once again, and Boudreaux is actually going to not pick up anything positively on that run. He'll be lucky he got back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to make it A second down and 10 now for the Bulldogs. Again, moving from left to right. Bulldogs wearing all the maroon helmet with the W on the right side, numbers on the left, white jerseys, Waller going across the chest, maroon numbers trimmed in maroon pants with the black thick stripe going down the side. So now they're going to break that huddle with about 7 seconds left on the play clock, game clock at 3:15. This ball is going to be handed off to the running back. That is Boudreaux on the carry. Boudreaux is going to actually just only pick up 2 yards on that one. Couldn't get the extra push like he did earlier from his offensive line. So now it's going to make it a third down and 8 now for the Bulldogs. Ball is in Spartan territory, officially at the Spartan 34-yard line. 2:42 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs were lined up in the Wildcat formation as Bujo did signal for the ball, but number 54 got a little head start right there. That was Javier Zarate on there, the guard right there for the Bulldogs, coming up a little bit early. So now it's going to push the Bulldogs back and make this a third and you could say 14 for them. 2:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Now the Bulldogs going to line back up in this Wildcat formation. The ball's going to be handed off to Budo. Budo trying to slip through the hole. He's going to get back past the original line of scrimmage, past that by 2 yards. So it's going to make it a fourth down and 8. And that will take us to the 2-minute timeout.
Spectators are not allowed in the field. We do want you to stay, however, in your seats.
So at the 2-minute timeout, the Bulldogs leading by a score of 54-21 over the Cypress Lake Spartans. We'll take a quick break. Be right back for the remaining of the 2 minutes of this game. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium, where the Bulldogs are leading by a score of 54-21 over the Cypress Lake Spartans. I'd like to thank you, Mr. David, for tuning in to this broadcast. Glad you enjoyed your time, as well as the Bulldogs enjoyed their time here, trying to take care and put the icing on the cake as the Bulldogs just elect to go for it on that fourth down, just to
Spartans take over on down.
keep the ball where it was at. I guess not really take the chance of anything crazy happen right there. I guess you could have punted the ball to pin them deep inside their own 10, but if you're the Bulldogs, you'll take it where you're at right now with the 54-21 lead. So the Spartans will get this one. Say at about at their own 32-yard line. You got a new quarterback in for the Spartans. That's going to be number 6, the junior, Darius Watson. Darius Watson, the lefty, going to come in now with his first look at things. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. He's going to hand this one off to the running back. And he's going to take a hard hit from the linebacker, Trace Geigley, right there, number 52. Say number 32, taking the big hit on the run. That says Isaiah Anderson. Say number 33. I'm sorry, that's Braylon Duggar on the carry. So Duggar say he went for no yardage. So to make it a 2nd down and 10 now for the Spartans. Watson looking to pass, going to complete with the receiver down here on the left side of the numbers. That's complete to Crowder. Crowder is able to spin out of 1 tackle, then try to make a cut back up midfield. Picked up the 1st down and plus some, but we have another penalty mark coming in at the end of the play. This one might go against the Bulldogs. Tackle made by Luce Wisnowski to stop the also dangerous Crowder right there of turning that play any bigger than what it needs to be. So the Bulldogs get flagged with the late hit right there. They pick up their 8th penalty here. Seems like they had a clean second half from the penalty standpoint of sides. It's ready to resume back into play of action here. 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter. Watson, the new quarterback in, has this one pass. The 50 inside the Bulldogs territory, rolling out to his left. Going to take this one, try to throw. It's going to be intercepted, but don't think the Bulldogs defender was able to toe tap and get a toe in. That's number 7 for the Bulldogs. That's Caden Lee. Caden Lee couldn't come away or couldn't come down with the interception. Had too much foul, so sideline territory that he had to fight against right there. So to make it an incomplete pass and fall to 2nd down and 10 now for the Spartans. Ball is at the Bulldogs' 31-yard line. Clock stopped at 53 seconds. Watson looking to pass. Pump fake. Going to take a shot downfield. It's going to be incomplete. Him and the wide receiver, Courtney Lewis, not on the same page. And luckily right there, it wasn't picked off by the linebacker, number 20, Jeremy Dees. But Dees is able to knock down his 2nd pass affection in this game. So to stop the clock at 46 seconds, 3rd down and 10 now for the Spartans. Watson working in the pistol formation, got 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. This ball's going to be handed to the running back, but the play got blown up and just ran into the butt side of his guard. You can give credit to the tackle for the Bulldogs right there, number 97. Desmond Frazier right there. And he's the nearest Bulldog. As you can see, he was the reason the guard even pulled back and caused Braylon to run into him. So to make this now a 4th and 14 now for the Spartans. You got 14 seconds remaining here in this contest. Spartans now snap it. Looking to pass, going to take a shot. It's going to be incomplete. And it's going to let that one time run out. It was about 2 seconds left on the clock, but they just let that one roll out. And that will conclude matters here as the Waller Bulldogs are able to come out victorious over the Cypress Lake Spartans by a score of 54-21. The Bulldogs are able to spoil homecoming night to the Spartans. Bulldogs will be on, I was going to say go back on the road. They'll be traveling back home, and they'll be taking on Cypress Ranch Mustangs next week. Kickoff supposed to be at 7 p.m. from Dykens Stadium. But then you can also catch the next broadcast of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. This Saturday, kickoff is supposed to be at 4 p.m. But that will conclude matters here at Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union Stadium where the Bulldogs come out victorious over the Cypress Lake Spartans by a score of 54-21. I am Philip Prince, who was able to give you tonight's coverage. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Until then, we'll see you on the other side.